Visiting a travel agent, 1.
Hi, I need help planning my vacation.
Sure, where would you like to go?
I haven't decided where to go yet.
Do you enjoy warm or cold climates?
I am thinking that I might enjoy a tropical climate.
I have some brochures here that you might like to look at.
These look great.
Do you know how much you want to spend on this vacation?
I have about $1,000 to spend on this trip.
Well, take these brochures and get back to me when you want to make your reservations.
Visiting a travel agent, 2.
Hello, could you help me with vacation plans?
Do you know where you will be traveling?
I am open to suggestions at this point.
Are you wanting to travel to a tropical climate, or would you like to go somewhere with a cooler climate?
I'd like to travel to a cooler destination.
I can give you some brochures that could give you some ideas.
I will look at them right now.
How much money is in your budget for this trip?
I think that I can spend about $200 a day.
Take your time choosing a destination, and when you've narrowed it down, I'll be happy to help you make a reservation.
Visiting a travel agent, 3.
I was wondering if you would be able to help me with vacation plans.
Have you chosen your destination?
I don't know where I want to go yet.
Do you enjoy warm weather, or are you looking forward to a cooler vacation?
A nice temperate climate would be best for me.
Why don't you take a look at these brochures that might help you make up your mind?
This place looks nice.
Have you thought about what you would like to spend on this vacation?
I just got a bonus and can spend about $3,000 total.
I'll be happy to help you make a reservation whenever you decide upon a destination.
Making a hotel reservation, 1.
I would like to make a hotel reservation.
What day will you be arriving?
I will be arriving on May 14th.
How long will you be staying?
I need the room for 3 nights.
How many people will be staying in the room?
2 will be staying in the room.
Would you like a smoking or non-smoking room?
We need a non-smoking room.
We have booked a room for you. Please be assured to arrive before 4 o'clock on your check-in date.
Making a hotel reservation, 2.
I would like to book a reservation at your hotel.
What date would you like to make that reservation for?
I need a reservation for May 14th.
How many days do you need the reservation for?
I'll be staying for 3 nights.
Is that a single room, or will there be more guests?
I need a double room.
We have a smoking and non-smoking rooms. Which do you prefer?
We require a smoking room.
Your room is booked. You must arrive before 4 the day you are to check in.
Making a hotel reservation, 3.
I need to book a room at your hotel.
On what day will you be beginning your stay?
Our stay will be beginning on May 14th.
Can you tell me how many days you need that room for?
Please book the room for 3 nights.
Would you like a single or a double room?
I need a room for 3 people.
Do you need a non-smoking room?
We must have a non-smoking room.
We have reserved your room. To secure the room, you must prepay with a credit card.
Luggage limits, 1.
I don't know how much luggage I can take on the plane with me.
You need to look up each individual airline online to get their restrictions.
I just wonder what the general rules are.
In the United States, if you fly economy on a domestic flight, you usually have to pay for checked baggage.
What about international flights?
On international flights, you usually have a 2-bag limit with weight restrictions.
What about carry-on bag?
All airlines will allow you to bring one small carry-on that will fit under the seat. Sometimes you can also bring a purse or a handbag.
Do you have any words of wisdom for travelers in regard to luggage?
Keep it light in regard to what you pack. Figure out what you absolutely need and leave the rest at home.
Luggage limits, 2.
I heard that the airlines are changing the luggage restrictions, and I need to find out what they are. These are online sites that list the general restrictions of the airlines. Because I fly a lot, I need to pack in a way that will be suitable for most airlines. Except for the discount carriers, you almost always have to pay a fee for checked baggage if you fly economy within the U.S. Do they charge a fee for baggage on an international flight? Almost all international carriers charge for excessive luggage. You are limited in weight and size. Is carry-on luggage allowed? You are restricted in what you may carry on. You almost always can bring one small piece for free. What do you think is the most important thing to remember when packing for a trip? Pack lightly. You don't want to haul around or pay fees on things that aren't essential.
Making a plane reservation, 1.
Hi, could you help me make a plane reservation?
I would be happy to help you. Where do you plan on going?
I'm going to go to Hawaii.
For that destination, you may leave from Los Angeles or Burbank Airport. Which would you prefer?
I think that I would rather leave from Los Angeles Airport.
Would you prefer a morning or afternoon departure?
I need to leave in the morning.
Fine. On your return flight, do you have a preference as to morning or afternoon?
I would prefer to return in the afternoon.
I have booked you on a flight at a great rate. Here are your tickets.
Making a plane reservation, 2.
I need to make a plane reservation.
This is what I am here for. What is your destination?
I will be traveling to Aspen, Colorado.
Would you prefer to leave from Los Angeles or Burbank Airport?
Burbank Airport would be best for me.
You can leave in the morning or afternoon from that airport. Do you have a preference?
I can only take a flight that leaves in the afternoon.
I can book that for you right now. When you return, would you prefer morning or afternoon?
I think that I would like a morning return flight better.
I was able to book your flight, and I will print your tickets right now. Have a great trip.
Making a plane reservation, 3.
I'm planning a trip and need help making my airline reservation.
Sure. Where are you traveling to on your trip?
I will be vacationing in Oregon.
You have an option for departing from Los Angeles or Burbank Airport. What is your preference?
I live closer to Los Angeles Airport, so that would be the best choice.
Does it matter to you if you leave in the morning or afternoon?
I can leave at either time.
I'll put you on a morning flight. Is a morning or afternoon return flight preferable for you?
Either morning or afternoon would work for me.
I'll give you an afternoon flight. Here are your tickets.
Buying a plane ticket, 1.
I would like to book a flight.
Can I help you with that? Where are you traveling to?
I am traveling to Singapore.
What date will you be traveling?
I want to fly on June 14th.
Do you want to fly out of Los Angeles International or Burbank Airport?
I would like to fly out of Los Angeles International Airport.
Would you prefer a morning or an afternoon flight?
I would rather fly in the morning.
Well, I have you booked on a flight that will fit your schedule. The tickets will arrive by mail in a few days.
Buying a plane ticket, 2.
I want to buy a plane ticket.
I can help you make your reservation. What is your destination?
My final destination is Sydney, Australia.
What is your travel date?
I am making a reservation for December 12th.
Would you prefer to leave from Los Angeles International or Burbank Airport?
I want to fly out of Burbank Airport.
Would you rather fly in the morning or later in the day?
I need an afternoon flight.
I have you booked on a flight in the afternoon. Your tickets will arrive in the mail within 3 days.
Buying a plane ticket. 3.
I need to make a plane reservation.
We can book your trip right now. What city are you flying to?
I need to fly to New York City.
What date would you like me to book this plane ticket for?
I need a flight on July 4th.
You can fly out of Los Angeles International or Burbank Airport. Which do you prefer?
I will fly out of whatever airport has the cheapest price.
If you have a choice, what time of day would you prefer to fly?
I would like to be booked on the least expensive flight.
I was able to find an inexpensive flight for you. We are sending you your tickets in the mail.
Getting a passport. 1.
I need to get a passport.
The first thing you need to do is go to the post office and get an application.
After I fill it out, where do I take it?
You need to take your application to a specially designated post office. They will help you mail it to the proper place.
How do I know where these agencies are?
They are listed online. All you need to do is put in your zip code.
Will I need to bring anything else?
You also need to bring your original birth certificate and 2 pictures. Look at the website for details.
What if I need a visa?
You only need a visa for certain countries. Contact that particular consulate for details.
Getting a passport. 2.
Can you help me figure out how to get a passport?
The Automobile Club can provide you with an application.
Where can I turn my application in?
You need to go to a passport agency in your town. They will help you process it.
How can I find which place to take it to?
You can check in your phone book.
What else do I need to bring?
If you go online, the site will provide a detailed list of what you need to bring.
Do I need to do anything special to get a visa?
You must contact the consulate of the country that you wish to travel to.
Getting a passport. 3.
I've never had a passport before and need to know what to do to get one.
You can download an application.
What do you do with the application?
You need to take your application to a special post office or passport agency.
Can you tell me how to find these agencies?
Any post office can refer you to the proper place.
Is the application the only thing that I will need to bring?
The passport website lets you know what types of identification and pictures you must provide.
What if I am going to a country that requires a visa?
The requirements for a visa vary from country to country. You can go online to find out what the requirements are for the country you are visiting.
Picking up at the airport. 1.
Would you be able to pick me up at the airport next Sunday?
Sure, I would be happy to help you. What time are you arriving?
I'll be arriving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
By the time you pick up your luggage, it will be around 3:30. What if I meet you outside at the curb?
That would be a good time to meet. But what if I am running late?
I can track your plane online. I can just put in the flight number and I can see if you are on time.
Can you make sure that you have your cell phone with you so I can call you?
Yes, that would be a good idea.
If something happens and you can't make it, just let me know and I'll book a super shuttle.
Don't worry, I'll be able to pick you up.
Picking up at the airport. 2.
I'm flying in next Sunday and was wondering if you might be able to pick me up at the airport.
I can pick you up. What time does your flight arrive?
My flight arrives at 3 in the afternoon.
I think if I am at the curb at 3:30, that would allow you time to pick up your luggage. How does that sound?
I think that would work out well, but what if the plane is late?
I can call the airline and they will tell me if the flight is delayed.
I'm going to carry my cell phone so I can call you.
Yes, that would help us find each other at the airport.
If you find that you have to make other plans, I can always book a super shuttle to pick me up.
You don't have to take a super shuttle. I'll be there.
Picking up at the airport 3.
Could you help me out and pick me up at the airport next Sunday?
It would be no problem to pick you up. When is your flight arriving?
I'm coming in around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I think that by the time we factor in half an hour to clear customs, then maybe I should meet you at the curb at 3:30.
I'll meet you at the curb, but how will you know if the plane is delayed?
Don't worry, I can track your flight on my iPhone browser.
I want to be able to call you on my cell phone in a pinch.
I'll make sure to keep my cell phone with me and turned on.
If it doesn't work out, just let me know and I can take a super shuttle.
You won't need to take a super shuttle. Just stay in touch and look for me.
Booking a flight online 1.
Have you ever booked a flight online?
I have booked airline tickets online many times. It has worked out great for me.
How do you book airline tickets online?
The best way is to go to a website like Travelocity or Expedia. They can help you find the best price.
What information do I need to provide to book a flight?
You need to know where you are going and when you want to travel.
How do I get the cheapest rate?
Usually, you get the best price by having some flexibility in your travel time and dates.
Can I fly on different airlines?
You can choose the airline you prefer to fly with or let the website find you the best deal.
Booking a flight online 2.
Do you think it's a good idea to book airline tickets online?
I think that booking airline tickets online is the only way to go.
Can you help me figure out how to book airline tickets online?
You can find the best price by using a website like Travelocity or Expedia.
What do I need to know to book a flight?
You will need to type in the dates that you wish to travel and where you are going.
How do I get the best price?
If you have some flexibility in when you can travel, that will usually get you a better rate.
Can I choose which airline I fly with?
These sites deal with a lot of different airlines, so you can choose whichever one you prefer.
Booking a flight online 3.
Is booking airline tickets online a good way to go?
I have had really good luck booking airline tickets online.
How do you book airline tickets online?
Usually, you can find the best price by using a website like Travelocity or Expedia.
What are they going to ask me to book a flight?
They will ask you when you will be traveling and what your destination will be.
Is there anything special I can do to get the lowest price?
You get a better rate if you aren't too particular about what time you travel.
Do you have to fly with a particular airline?
The travel sites deal with many different airlines. It is always up to you to choose who you will fly with.
Sightseeing 1.
Where should we go sightseeing today?
I think that some things might be best done in the morning and others in the afternoon.
I think that I would like to go to the beach this morning.
That would be a good place to start our sightseeing. We could have breakfast there.
I hear that there is a very nice natural history museum there.
Yes, it would be nice to check that out since we are so close by.
Where should we go in the afternoon?
I think that I would like to go to the amusement park. It's supposed to be quite good.
At the end of the day, I would love to take in the sunset at the restaurant by the park.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's go get a map.
Sightseeing 2.
It's so hard to choose where to go first on our sightseeing trip.
We could think of what we would make a good morning activity versus an evening activity.
I really wanted to make sure that I got a chance to go to the local beach.
I think that would be a fun beginning to our day. We could walk around there.
I heard that the Natural History Museum is pretty close to the beach.
I heard the same thing. We might as well go there since we're just down the street.
What would be a good place to go to in the afternoon?
The local amusement park is supposed to be wonderful.
The restaurant on the edge of the park would be a great place to watch the sun go down.
That sounds like a perfect sightseeing day to me.
Sightseeing 3.
There are so many places to go on our sightseeing trip that I'm having trouble narrowing it down.
Let's figure out what to do before lunch and later figure out what to do in the afternoon.
I heard that the local beach is a place that can't be missed.
That would be a relaxing way to begin our morning. It would be good to get out in the sun.
The Natural History Museum is close by, isn't it?
That museum is supposed to be fantastic.
Do you have any suggestions as to where we could go in the afternoon?
We could check out the local amusement park.
We could eat dinner and watch the sun go down at the restaurant by the park.
That could really end up being a great day.
Talking to a curbside agent 1.
Can you help me figure out where I should go first to check in at this airport?
If you already have your ticket, we can take your bags here at the curbside check-in.
How do I know what gate to go to?
There are arrivals and departures listed on the screens inside.
Is there some place where I can find out what I can carry in my baggage?
There are signs posted near the baggage check area to help you know what the rules are.
Can my friend go inside with me?
Your friend can go with you to the ticket counter, but not past the security check.
When I return, will this curbside area be a good place to get picked up?
This area is only for departures. The bottom level is for arrivals.
Talking to a curbside agent 2.
I don't know the departure procedures at this airport and was wondering if you could help me.
If you need to pick up your ticket, you need to go to the ticket counter right inside the door. They will check your bags for you.
I don't know where my plane is departing from.
There are agents for your airline at the counter in the corner.
Where can I find out what I can carry on in my bag?
There should be a list of restrictions printed on your ticket.
Can I take my friend along with me to say goodbye?
Only ticketed passengers can go past the security checkpoint.
Is this the area for departures and arrivals or only departures?
This is the drop-off area for departures. Arrivals are on the lower level.
Talking to a curbside agent 3.
I am flying out today and need to know where I should begin checking in.
If you only have a carry-on and already have a ticket, you may proceed directly to the gate to check in.
Do you know what gate my plane is leaving from?
Check on the screens when you go through baggage inspection for your airline.
I need to know what the restrictions are for carry-on luggage contents.
Check out the list of banned carry-on materials on the signs inside the airport.
I have a lot of time to kill before my flight departs, and I want my friend to keep me company.
For security purposes, only ticketed passengers can go to the gate.
Can my friend pick me up here when I return?
The curbside area is a departure area only. Arrivals are downstairs.
Carry-on luggage 1.
I haven't traveled much and need to know what I can carry in my luggage.
There are different considerations. You have to consider airline rules and rules for customs.
How do I find out about each country's customs regulations?
You can go to a website for the particular country you are interested in.
Is there anything I should keep in mind for all countries?
Do not ever lie about what you are carrying in your luggage. If you get caught, there is a major fine just for lying.
How about regulations for what you can carry on an airline?
The internet is a good source for special regulations for particular airports and airlines.
I heard that I can't bring my own bottled water on the plane.
You can buy water at the airport once you pass luggage inspection.
Carry-on luggage 2.
What can I carry in my luggage when I travel on an airline trip?
When you fly, you need to think about what you can carry on board and what you can take into a particular country.
Where can I go to find out about customs regulations?
Just Google the country you are interested in with these keywords, customs and restrictions.
Are there any general rules for all countries?
Always answer all questions accurately. If you get caught omitting anything, you will be fined and possibly detained.
What about airline regulations for the contents of your luggage?
If you go to a website for a particular airport or airline, you can get specific information.
Is it true that I can't even bring my own water with me?
You can bring an empty bottle with you if you like and fill it up once you pass inspection.
Carry-on luggage 3.
How can I find out what I can carry in my luggage on an airline flight?
You have to think about customs regulations and airline regulations.
What is the best place to get information about the customs regulations for a country?
It is easier to go online, but if you can't do that, you can write the customs office for the country you are interested in.
What is the most important thing I should keep in mind as far as customs is concerned?
Always be honest in declaring everything you are carrying. Otherwise, you can be fined for not declaring everything.
How do I find out what you can carry in your luggage for a particular airline?
You can always call the airline you are flying, and they can give you specific information.
Can I at least bring my own bottled water with me?
You can't bring your own water. You must buy it at the airport.
Going through the customs 1.
Hi, could you tell me how to get my bags?
Just go straight ahead, down the escalator, and there will be signs directing you.
Where do we clear customs?
You will pick your bags up first.
Should we have our passports out?
You should have your passport out and your declarations form totally filled out before you get into line.
My friend here is continuing on to Puerto Rico, and we were wondering if she has to go through customs.
Travelers who are continuing on to another country will check it over there and be directed where to go next. Their bags have been checked through.
Are there any restrooms in this area?
Yes, right over there after you pass through the line.
Going through the customs 2.
I have never arrived at this airport before and need to know where to go next.
Go to the end of the walkway, down the stairs, and to the right.
Do we need to clear customs before we get our bags?
You will clear customs and immigration when you have picked up your luggage.
What do I need to have out when I pass through customs?
Make sure that your passport is out and that your declarations form is complete.
My seatmate here is traveling through to Canada, and I told her that she probably doesn't have to clear customs.
People who are not entering the United States should go to the left and follow the directions given to them. Their bags are already routed through to their final destination.
Can we use the restrooms before we clear customs?
Yes, there is one right over there, especially for this area.
Going through the customs 3.
Where's the luggage claim area?
You can get to baggage claim by going down the escalator and following the signs.
Don't I have to clear customs before I go get my bags?
After you have picked up your bags, you will be directed to customs.
Do I need to have this declarations form filled out before I get there?
Do not get in the customs and immigration line until you have your passport out with your completed declarations form.
My brother won't be staying in the U.S., but is continuing on to Mexico.
Passengers continuing on should check in with the attendant on the left who will direct them to where they can connect with their next flight.
Is there a restroom we can use in this area?
Of course, right over there on your left.
Ordering food and drink 1.
I was wondering if I could order something to drink.
Yes, we have alcoholic beverages as well as coffee, tea, or soda.
How much do drinks cost?
Our alcoholic beverages are $5 each. All others are complimentary.
When will our meals be served?
We will serve a snack with the beverages. Dinner will be served a few hours into our flight.
What are our dinner choices?
You have a choice of chicken, fish, or beef. I will be bringing a menu by shortly.
I am a vegetarian and need a vegetarian meal.
Oh, vegetarian meals need to be requested at least 2 days before your flight. I might be able to find you extra servings of vegetables, however.
Ordering food and drink, 2.
I'm getting thirsty and was wondering if I may order a drink.
Yes, I would be happy to take your drink order. We have coffee, tea, or soda, as well as bar drinks.
Do you charge for beverages?
We offer non-alcoholic beverages for free. Our bar drinks are $5 each.
Are we going to get fed on this flight?
You will get a small snack served with your beverage. We will be serving dinner about halfway through the flight.
Do we have a choice of what we get for dinner?
Tonight we have chicken, fish, or beef to choose from. You will get a chance to look at a menu a little before our mealtime.
Do you have vegetarian meals?
We serve many different meals for people with religious or dietary restrictions. We do need to know about this at the time you book your flight.
Ordering food and drink, 3.
When you get a chance, could you take my drink order, please?
On this flight, you may have your choice of bar drinks or coffee, tea, or soft drinks.
What is the price of drinks?
Our alcoholic beverages are $5 apiece. All others are $2 each with free refills.
Do we get to eat on this flight?
We always pass out a small snack with your beverage. You will be served dinner in a few hours.
What are we having for dinner tonight?
We are serving a chicken, fish, or beef plate. You may select whatever you choose.
Can I order a vegetarian plate?
With advance notice, we are able to accommodate a wide variety of special diet needs. Once we are in the air, unfortunately, there isn't much we can do.
Dropping off at the airport, 1.
Can you drive me to the airport tomorrow afternoon?
I would be happy to drive you to the airport. When do you need to leave?
For an international flight, the airline wants us to check in 2 hours in advance, so I need to leave my house at 2.
Do you have a lot of luggage to check in?
I am only carrying one large bag and a carry-on.
I'll bring our smaller car then. Do you know where you need to get dropped off?
Yes, I'm flying out on Singapore Air to Sydney, so I need to be at the international terminal.
Will I be able to come in with you to say goodbye?
Actually, with the airport regulations being so strict, you should probably just drop me off at the curb.
That will work out fine. Just give me a call if anything changes.
Dropping off at the airport, 2.
If you are free, I was wondering if you could give me a ride to the airport this afternoon.
Sure, I'll give you a ride. What time do you need to get there?
I need to leave my house at 2 o'clock so I can get to the airport 2 hours before my flight.
How much luggage are you bringing?
I have my carry-on, a purse, and a large suitcase.
I won't have to drive our larger car then. Do you know where your terminal is?
I need to be dropped off on the second level of the international terminal since I am flying to Sydney on Singapore Air.
Do you want me to go in with you at the airport to help you pass the time before you leave?
I would like that, but only ticketed passengers can go into the departure area.
I'll drop you off wherever you need to be dropped off. See you later.
Dropping off at the airport, 3.
Could you help me with a ride to the airport this afternoon?
I can give you a ride with no problem. What is your departure time?
My flight departs at 4, so I need to leave my house at 1 to get to the airport by 2.
Are you bringing a lot of bags with you?
I am bringing my purse, a carry-on, and a large suitcase.
Your stuff should all fit in my car just fine. Do you know which terminal you are going to?
Since I'm flying to Sydney on Singapore Air, I need to be dropped off on the second level of the international terminal.
Can I go inside the airport with you and maybe we can have a drink before you leave?
They only allow ticketed passengers into the departure area, so you'll have to drop me off at the curb.
I can take you wherever you need to go. Let me know if there are any changes to your travel plans.
Arranging a tour of the city. 1.
I was wondering if you could help me book a few tours.
You have come to the right place. How many days will you be visiting here?
I'll be here for a week.
Have you ever visited our city before?
This is my first time visiting the city.
What are you interested in? Do you enjoy museums and buildings, or would you rather hit some outdoor hotspots and venues?
I really enjoy visiting museums and art galleries.
We have tours for all interests.
Do you have a city tour?
Yes, in fact, I usually suggest that to visitors.
Arranging a tour of the city. 2.
I need help knowing how to book some tours.
We will be able to book your tours here. How long will you be here?
I am only staying for 3 days.
Is this your first stay in our city?
I have been here before on a business trip, but didn't really have a chance to see much.
Have you thought of what types of things you would like to see? Would you maybe like to visit some outdoor venues or nighttime hotspots?
I love being outdoors and would love to spend some time at the beach.
We have a tour that can take you where you can see all of that.
Do you have a tour where I can get a quick overview of the city?
We do have tours like that, and I think that is a good place to start.
Arranging a tour of the city. 3.
I need help figuring out what to see and visit in this city.
We are definitely the place to come to when booking tours. What is the length of your stay here?
I am on a layover and will only have today and tomorrow morning to sightsee.
How familiar are you with our city?
Actually, I was born here, but haven't been here in 20 years.
Do you have any ideas of what you would like to see? Perhaps you would enjoy our world-renowned museums or a visit to our magnificent zoological gardens?
I was interested in checking out local architecture.
I think that you would enjoy a number of our tours.
Is there any way that I can take a quick tour of the city so that I can get some ideas as to what I might like to see?
A general city tour is an excellent tour to start with.
Talking to a seatmate. 1.
That rain is really coming down out there.
Yes, it's kind of crazy weather outside.
I get kind of nervous flying in this kind of weather.
I don't think anyone feels all that comfortable flying in a storm.
Do you think it will be this bad the whole trip?
On the Weather Channel, this storm looked to be a big one. It will probably be with us for a while.
I worry about too much ice on the wings.
I have to believe that our pilot knows what he is doing and will be okay.
When do you think the pilot will turn off the fasten seatbelt sign?
He'll turn it off as soon as he knows that we are through the turbulence.
Do you think that we are going to crash?
Maybe. You just never know.
Talking to a seatmate. 2.
It sure is windy out there.
It definitely is not the perfect day to fly, is it?
I am scared of flying to begin with, but bad weather makes it a little worse.
Anyone who actually enjoys flying in bad weather is out of their mind.
Will the whole flight be this bad?
I think that it will probably let up once we get out of here. Let's cross our fingers.
What if we hit a flock of birds?
Plane crashes are very rare. We'll be fine.
Do you think that the pilot will ever turn off the fasten your seatbelt sign?
The pilot needs to make sure that there is no more turbulence before he lets us get up.
Do you think that we are going to die?
Can I buy you an alcoholic beverage?
Talking to a seatmate. 3.
I can't believe how bad the weather is today.
Yes, according to the weather report, we will be flying through a pretty nasty storm.
I don't really like flying in this kind of weather.
It is normal to feel a little nervous about flying in bad weather.
How long do you think this will last?
Usually, the pilot can get enough altitude to get above it. I hope that happens this time.
What if one of the engines stops working?
I trust that the airline wouldn't let us take off without feeling that all was okay.
How much longer do you think that the pilot will leave the fasten your seatbelt sign on?
When we are past the turbulence, I'm sure that the pilot will shut the light off.
Do you think we are headed for an air disaster?
Would you like a pillow and blanket so you can take a nap?
Ground transportation. 1.
I just arrived and need help getting transportation to my hotel.
There are shuttles, taxis, and buses that go all over the city.
Which one is the best form of transportation?
It depends on where you want to go. If you are going to a well-known hotel, they have their own shuttles that drop you right off at the door.
Where can I catch a cab?
All ground transportation leaves from the island as you walk out of the arrival gate.
Where can I rent a car?
The car rental agencies are against the wall as you exit.
Are there any subways in this town?
We have a subway system, but you need to take a shuttle to get to the station.
Ground transportation. 2.
I need help figuring out how to get to my friend's house in the city.
You may take a shuttle, a taxi, or bus to get wherever you need to go.
Which form of transportation is preferable?
It depends on what you're looking for. If you are looking to travel inexpensively, a bus might be your best bet.
Where did the buses pick you up?
The ground transportation center is right outside the exit leading to the street.
Is there a car rental place around here?
You can find a car rental agency just outside of baggage claim.
Is there a subway in the city?
Our subway station is a mile outside of the airport. I would suggest you take the designated shuttle to get there.
Ground transportation. 3.
I need information about my options for ground transportation.
This city has many taxis, shuttles, or buses to transport you to your destination.
Is one form of transportation better than another?
It depends on where you are traveling. If your destination is close by, you might want to just grab a taxi cab.
Where are the shuttle pickup points?
When you pick up your luggage, walk out the door and you will see the transportation kiosk.
Where are the car rental agencies?
You will see the car rental agencies as you walk down the hallway as you exit.
I heard that you have a very good light rail system in this city.
We have a subway station in the airport. The in-airport moving sidewalk system will take you to it.
Talking to a flight attendant. 1.
Can I ask you some questions about the in-flight instructions?
I would be happy to help you clarify anything you need help with.
Could you help me find out where my nearest exit is?
There is a card in your seat pocket that shows you where your nearest exit is. Yours is 2 rows in front of you.
Where is my oxygen mask that you were talking about?
Your oxygen mask is above you, next to the reading light. It will drop down when you need it.
I am concerned about landing in the water.
The life jackets are under your seat. You can also use your seat cushion as a flotation device.
What is the most important thing we can do to stay safe?
The most important thing you can do is keep your seatbelt fastened when the captain asks you to.
Talking to a flight attendant. 2.
I'm kind of confused about the in-flight instructions. I need to ask you a few questions.
It would be my pleasure to help you with any questions you might have.
Where is that card that shows my nearest exit?
The card is in the seat pocket right in front of you. Your nearest exit is directly behind you.
Is my oxygen mask up here?
Your oxygen mask will drop down if we lose cabin pressure.
Do we have any life jackets on this plane if we need them?
Your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device, and your life jacket is under the seat cushion.
It seems really windy outside.
The wind won't be a problem. Always make sure that your seatbelt is fastened when you are requested to fasten it.
Talking to a flight attendant. 3.
Would it be alright if I asked you a few questions about your in-flight instructions?
I would love to help clarify any questions you might have.
When you were talking about the nearest exit, what were you talking about?
There's a card in the seat pocket that shows you where your nearest exit is. Your nearest exit is right here.
What if I need an oxygen mask?
The oxygen mask is above you and will drop down if you need it.
Where are the life jackets?
You will find your life jacket under your seat if you need it. Also, you have a seat cushion that can be used as a flotation device.
If I want to be safe, what can I do?
Keep your seatbelt fastened at all times. If you fall asleep, keep it fastened loosely around you in case we hit turbulence unexpectedly.
Complaining about a tour. 1.
I am having some big problems on this tour.
What seems to be the problem? We are here to help you.
This tour company seems very disorganized. No one seems to have a clear picture as to where we are going and when we are going to get there.
I will see what I can do about that. How about the accommodations on the tour?
So far, we have been staying in really out-of-the-way accommodations.
Is anything wrong with your room?
The television in our room was broken, and they didn't send anyone to fix it.
I will complain to the hotel manager about that. How about the hotel restaurant?
The food in the restaurant was terrible, and a few people from our group got sick.
I'm so sorry that you had such a bad experience. We would like to offer you a free city tour and want you to make it up to you.
Complaining about a tour. 2.
I paid good money for this tour and would appreciate some help with some problems that have come up.
I would like to help you smooth out any difficulties you are having. What can I help you with?
This tour company can't seem to coordinate anything. We're always arriving after something is closed or get there when the guides for the site are on a break.
We are trying to fix that. Are the accommodations to your liking?
Our accommodations are pretty substandard.
Is there anything in particular that is wrong with your room?
The room smelled of smoke, even though it was supposed to be a non-smoking room.
You should not have to put up with that. Was the hotel restaurant good?
Actually, a few people from our group got sick, and everyone thinks it was from the bad dinner that we ate.
Our tour company takes pride in providing excellent tours. Please let me offer you a free city tour and lunch as an apology.
Complaining about a tour. 3.
I would like to discuss some problems that I'm having with this tour.
I'm so sorry you're having a difficult time. What may I help you with?
This tour company doesn't seem to know the town very well. We're always getting lost.
I am sorry that has been the case. How would you rate your accommodation?
Our accommodations are not very pleasant.
What don't you like about your room?
The room was very noisy and we couldn't get to sleep.
This is unacceptable. Did you at least enjoy your dinner in the hotel restaurant?
The food was horrible at the hotel restaurant, and a few of us got sick after eating there.
I'm glad that you told me about the problems. I would like you to be my guest for a free massage at the hotel spa tonight.
Missing connecting flight. 1.
My flight just arrived late, and I need to know what to do.
That's okay. The airline computer is keeping track of what is happening with you.
Do I have to call anyone?
By speaking with us at the arrival gate, we can fix the problem for you and direct you.
What if there are no more connecting flights for today on this airline?
We will go online to see if there is something available with this airline. If we need to, we can check for a flight with another carrier.
What if I can't find another flight out here tonight?
We can help you find transportation to a local hotel.
Will the airline pay for my room if I have to spend the night at the airport?
Since the flight delay was our fault and you are continuing on with our airline, we will cover the cost of a hotel room.
Missing connecting flight 2.
Our flight was late and I missed my connecting flight.
We can help you find an alternate flight that will get you where you are going.
Whom should I call?
The arrival gate is where you need to find someone to help you. You are in the right place.
I think the flight we missed was the last flight out of here today.
We can go on the computer to try to find an alternate flight on another airline if we cannot accommodate you.
What if I get stuck here and can't get out of this airport?
There is a shuttle that is still running and can take you into town to a hotel.
I don't have any money for a hotel.
The flight that you missed is not with our airline, and we would not have suggested booking the flight so close together. We won't pay for your hotel room.
Missing connecting flight 3.
I had a connecting flight, but our arriving flight was late.
We will help you make alternative plans.
Can you give me the number of the airline so that I can call?
The airline always have personnel at the arrival gate to help you direct you when a flight is late. We can help you right here.
I remember that when we booked this flight, our connecting flight was the only one on this day.
Our ticketing is tied with other airlines. If we cannot accommodate you, perhaps another airline has some open seats to your destination.
Where will I stay if I can't get another flight tonight?
Since I believe there is a flight out of here at 5:45 in the morning, you may want to consider just staying at the airport.
I don't think I should have to pay for a hotel room.
We will pay 50% of the price of your room.
Arriving home 1.
It's great to be home.
Did you have a nice trip?
It had its surprises, but when all was said and done, it was a good trip.
What was your favorite part?
I loved our full moon beach party.
What were the people like? Were they friendly?
The people were basically quite friendly.
Did you bring me anything?
I brought you a lovely souvenir that I will be giving you for your birthday next week.
I can't wait until I get to be the one to go on vacation.
Arriving home 2.
I love traveling, but I love coming home too.
Did you enjoy your vacation?
It had its ups and downs, but I really enjoyed it.
What did you like the best?
I absolutely enjoyed the kayak trip we took to an outlying island.
Did you enjoy the people there? Did they like you?
Most of the people seemed happy that we were there, but some of them really resented visitors.
What did you bring back for me?
I did get you something, and I will give it to you as soon as I unpack.
Next time, I'm going to save up my money and go with you.
Arriving home 3.
How nice it is to be home again with all of my family.
Did your journey turn out as well as you had hoped it would?
All trips have good and bad points, but this one had mostly good ones.
Did you have something you enjoyed the most?
My favorite thing was the amazing food.
Were the people receptive to having visitors?
You could tell that some people did not have a favorable view of Americans.
Did you get me a souvenir?
Of course I brought you something.
Next time, I'm going to be the one to go away, and you can stay home and feed the dog.
Losing the wallet and passport 1.
I can't find my purse.
What was in your purse?
It contained my wallet and my passport.
How much money was in your wallet?
There was about $200 in my wallet, and I had some traveler's check in there too.
We can call American Express to deal with the traveler's checks. How about credit card?
I had a MasterCard and a Visa card.
We can look at the back of my cards to get the emergency phone numbers.
Where do I report that my passport is missing?
We need to take a cab to the embassy to report that right away. They will help us.
Losing the wallet and passport, 2.
I think that someone stole my purse.
What did you have in your purse?
Both my wallet and my passport were in there, and a tampon.
Did you have a lot of money in your wallet?
Fortunately, there was only a little change and some traveler's checks.
Did you have any credit cards in your wallet? We need to report them as well as the traveler's checks.
I only had a Visa card in my wallet.
We can call the front desk to get the lost or stolen card phone numbers.
I am worried about reporting my passport as missing.
The embassy can help us. We should walk over there and they can advise us on what we can do about replacing your passport.
Losing the wallet and passport, 3.
I left my purse in the taxi.
Can you remember what you had in your purse?
I had my wallet and my passport in that purse.
How much cash was in your wallet?
Most of my money was in traveler's checks with just a little amount in cash.
Do you know what credit cards you had in your wallet? We can call and report those as well as your traveler's check.
I had an American Express card and a Visa card in my wallet.
We can call the information number to get the phone numbers for the lost or stolen cards.
Do you know how to report a missing passport?
We need to contact the embassy right away. They will be able to help you replace your passport.
Local customs, 1.
This is really a fascinating city.
Yes, the city is thousands of years old and has quite a history.
I really love this temple we are visiting.
As you enter the temple, please remove your shoes as the others are doing.
It is so quiet here.
Yes, they are showing respect to their gods. People come here to pray and meditate.
I noticed that the women all have some sort of head covering.
It is a tradition that women cover their heads while in the temple.
I noticed that all of the people were eating with their hands at dinner last night.
Yes, that is another custom that people practice here.
Local customs, 2.
I have never traveled to a place that was so different from my home.
Yes, the city has a fascinating and diverse past. It is thousands of years old.
This temple is beautiful.
Please make sure that you remove your shoes before you enter the temple.
It is very quiet in here, even though there are a lot of people in this area.
Yes, even the children are expected to be respectful and quiet here. People need quiet to meditate.
The women all seem to have beautiful scarves or veils on their heads.
Women in this society would not consider setting foot in a temple without their head being covered.
I noticed at dinner last night that people in this country like to use their bread to eat with instead of silverware.
Yes, that bread is made of a special texture that works well for that.
Local customs, 3.
The city is certainly very different from what I'm used to at home.
This is an amazing city. It is quite ancient with a diverse past.
What an amazing temple.
See how everyone is removing their shoes before entering? We need to do the same.
The people in this room are very quiet.
This is an area of peace and tranquility. It is expected that people keep their voices down out of the respect for those who are meditating.
The women's scarves are quite beautiful.
Women of this faith must have their heads covered to enter the temple.
Last night at dinner, I noticed that everyone was using bread to eat with instead of silverware.
Yes, eating your curry or vegetables with your bread is a custom in this country.
Shopping for souvenirs 1.
I want to look at the souvenirs over at the souvenir stand.
What do you need to buy?
I usually buy myself some jewelry or some clothing.
I always buy a lot of things for my family. How about you?
Oh yes, they practically swarm me when I get home.
What are some of their favorite gifts?
The teenagers like me to bring them t-shirts that you can't get anywhere else.
This stuff is pretty expensive, isn't it?
Souvenirs cost a lot for what they are, but we can shop around for better prices.
Let's go across the street and see what they have over there.
Shopping for souvenirs 2.
Let's stop and look at the souvenirs at the souvenir stand.
What types of souvenirs were you looking for?
When I travel, I usually like to bring back a special necklace or clothing.
I end up buying a lot of stuff for the kids in my family. Do you like to do that too?
My family loves for me to take trips so they can get the goodies I bring them.
What types of things do they like?
The little kids like little trinkets, like those little shell animals over there.
I feel like this stuff is kind of overpriced.
Some souvenir stands charge more than others, so it pays to shop around.
Why don't we try checking prices a little farther away from the tourist section?
Shopping for souvenirs 3.
We need to stop so I can shop for some souvenirs at the souvenir stand.
Do you have anything in particular that you are looking for?
I love to go clothes shopping when I travel or buy a new piece of jewelry.
The kids in my family love getting souvenirs. How about the children in your family?
Everyone in my family enjoys getting treats from my travels.
What do they like you to bring home?
My nieces love to get little jewelry boxes like those on the top shelf.
Things seem to cost a lot at this stand.
You really need to shop around with souvenirs because they can vary a lot in price.
We could walk a few more blocks away from the beach and see what the prices are like there.
Trying to find a doctor 1.
I'm really not feeling very well.
Do you think that you need to go to a doctor?
I think that we should maybe check into how to find a doctor in this country.
I don't know where to begin looking for a doctor here.
I think that we should call the front desk to see if they can help us.
I have an American Express card. I heard that their travel services are quite good.
That sounds like a great idea.
Do you have travel insurance?
Yes, I bought travel health insurance.
I'm going to call down to the office right now and see what they can do for us.
Trying to find a doctor 2.
I haven't felt well since we ate dinner at that restaurant with the fish on the menu.
Should I look into finding a doctor for you?
I feel bad enough that I am thinking about how we could find a doctor.
How does someone find a physician in this country?
The front desk should be able to find a doctor on call for us.
With my American Express card, we could probably get a good referral for a doctor.
Yes, the card should help us find a good doctor.
Did you buy supplemental health insurance for travelers?
Yes, I am insured by a supplemental policy.
I will call American Express right now, and we'll get you some medical advice.
Trying to find a doctor 3.
I think I'm running a fever and my stomach hurts.
Do you feel bad enough that we should call a doctor?
I don't want to wait till the last minute to try and locate a physician.
Do you know how to find a doctor in this country?
The front desk would probably be our best source for a doctor.
I'm going to call the travel services number on my American Express card to get a referral.
I'm sure that they could refer us to a good doctor.
Are you insured by Traveler's Insurance policy?
No, but I checked before I left, and my home health policy covers me here.
I will call the insurance company and see what doctor they want us to use.
Shuttle bus at the airport. 1.
Is this where I catch the super shuttle?
Yes, this is where you catch the super shuttle. Where are you headed?
I am headed home to Pasadena.
You can tell where each van is headed by the name on the front of the van. I am the driver for Glendale, but your van should be along in a minute.
Do you know how much it costs to get to Pasadena?
I believe the cost of that trip is $60.
Do you know if the shuttle goes directly to Pasadena, or does it make a lot of stops?
Before you pay the driver, you need to ask him. He needs to be up front with you about the number of stops he will be making.
Do I need to have exact change?
You don't need exact change, but it is useful to have smaller bills.
Shuttle bus at the airport. 2.
They told me inside that I should catch the super shuttle here.
You are in the right place to catch the super shuttle. What is your destination?
Trying to get to my home in Pasadena.
Look at the sign on the front of the van to tell where each van is headed. My van is going to Glendale, but yours will be along in a minute.
How much does a trip to Pasadena cost?
If I remember correctly, that trip costs $60.
I am hoping that this shuttle goes straight to my city without making a bunch of stops.
Always ask the driver how many stops he plans to make before you pay him.
If I have large bills, should I break them while I am waiting?
It is better if you have cash close to the amount of the fare. There is an ATM machine right over there.
Shuttle bus at the airport. 3.
Am I in the right place to catch the super shuttle?
This is the super shuttle stop. Where are you trying to get to?
My final destination is my home in Pasadena.
The destination of each van is always written across the top. I have Glendale written on mine, but your van will be here shortly.
What is the price of a shuttle trip to Pasadena?
The trip to Pasadena costs $60.
I need to know if this shuttle is going to make a lot of stops or go straight to Pasadena.
If you find out the driver will be making too many stops on the way, you may wish to wait for a more direct shuttle.
What should I pay the driver with?
There is an ATM machine over by that wall. It is best if you have bills close to the amount that you will owe.
Making alternate plans. 1.
I guess that we won't be going rollerblading today with all this rain.
Yes, rollerblading in 6 inches of water would not be fun. What would you like to do instead?
I think that maybe we could check out the local mall, grab some lunch, and maybe see a movie.
Yes, that sounds like a relaxing way to check out the local culture and still stay dry.
What else could we do in bad weather?
You know, we could take a double-decker bus tour of famous haunted houses and buildings.
That would be fun, and the rain would only add to the atmosphere.
There is an old English pub next door. Maybe when we finish with the haunted house, we can duck in there for some brew.
What a great idea.
If we are lucky, maybe they'll have some great food at the pub for supper.
Making alternate plans. 2.
This rain sort of blows our chances of going rollerblading.
No, I don't think that we will be able to do what we plan to do. What can we do for fun today?
There's a large indoor mall just down the street with an incredible ice ring. We could go check it out.
We could stay inside and dry and still get out of this hotel room for a while.
I am trying to think of something else that we could do in bad weather.
We could sign up for that double-decker bus tour of haunted houses.
The rain day would only add to the haunted house atmosphere.
I think that when we are done with our haunted house touring, we should pop into the English pub next door for a beer.
I could go for that.
I hope that we can get some nice hot food for dinner at the pub.
Making alternate plans. 3.
I think that rollerblading today is kind of not happening in this rainstorm.
We definitely need to come up with a different plan to amuse ourselves. What do you think would be fun?
There is a large indoor mall hooked onto the Modern Art Museum just down the street.
That would allow us to stay dry and still get a feel for the local culture.
I wonder what the locals do in bad weather.
There is a sign for a double-decker tour of haunted houses in the lobby.
Haunted houses would be a perfect outing for a rainy day.
I think we should wrap up our rainy haunted house day with some ale at the English pub down the street.
I think that rainy days and pubs go together.
Usually pubs have some pretty good cold weather food. Maybe we can have dinner there.
Being cautious in a big city. 1.
Is there anything special I need to think about as I tour this city?
You need to keep in mind that this is a very poor country. Things are a little more desperate here than you are used to.
What do I need to look for?
Be particularly vigilant anytime you are in a crowded place with other tourists. Pickpockets know that tourists aren't paying all that much attention.
I have seen many children on the street begging, so what do I do about them?
It is best not to give money to children or other beggars on the street, as they can swarm you. You can give money to a local charity.
Should I be concerned about what I eat or drink?
Do not drink any water that isn't bottled. Avoid street vendor food.
How about being out on the street at night?
I would take a cab to your destination at night. Don't walk down the street alone.
Being cautious in a big city. 2.
This city is much larger than the one I live in, and I wonder if there is anything special that I need to keep in mind.
Crime can happen anywhere, but it is, as always, a little worse here because of the poverty.
Should I be vigilant about anything in particular?
The train stations, airports, and tourist sites are favorite spots for pickpocketers.
When I see children on the street begging, what amount should I give them?
I wouldn't suggest giving money to them. Most of them are put out there by adults who then take their money.
Can I eat or drink anything I want to?
Do not use tap water at all, not even to brush your teeth. Only eat fruit that has been peeled.
Can I walk around and see the sights at night?
I would be sure to travel in a group at night. Stay in well-lit areas.
Being cautious in a big city. 3.
Do I need to take any special safety precautions in this city?
This is a very large city with a lot of crowds to work your way through. Keep in mind that poverty makes people a little more desperate.
What should I watch out for?
You have to pay special attention at train stations, airports, and tourist sites. They are known for having a lot of pickpockets.
There are so many children begging on the street that I don't know which ones to give money to.
It is a natural instinct to want to give money to those children, but it is better to give money to one of the local charities or schools.
Are the local food and drink safe?
Avoid eating food prepared by street vendors. Use only bottled water.
How safe is it to be out at night?
You should always travel with others at night and stick to well-lit areas.